Hi and welcome to another Checiegirl Creations DIY video. Now today I'll be working on this card, and this technique I'll be using embossing powder, but instead of using embossing pad, I'm using a pigment ink pad that's white instead of using white embossing powder, because I don't have white embossing powder, so I thought this might be a cool technique to try if you don't. And then I added this string and these little corner doodles with a white gel pen. And then I gave it some splats with this white paint marker. So, and I also used some Kraft card. And it comes in a pre-folded set. All you have to do is fold it. It comes flat like this. And I'm also using this DIY Misty. And the hinges make quite a loud noise, sadly, but it works quite well. And this was inspired by somebody else's video. I just changed a few things, but I mostly folded it to the letter, and I'll link her video either in the description or in an iCard. And you can see a lot of the things, like this Kraft card, the white pigment ink. You can see where I got these in my birthday haul, and I'll link that in an iCard, top right hand corner. So I'm using this stamp set, and I want this ornament and a sentiment. So I thought Happy Holidays would be quite nice. I want to put it at the bottom because of the string. Just centering everything up. And with a Misty, you can position things, and once you press it down, and you can stamp it many times, as long as you put the card in the right place, and it'll stamp exactly where it was before. And because I'm using this white pigment ink, it takes quite a while to dry. So first I'm going to go over the card with my DIY anti-static pouch. This is just some fabric with baby powder in it. I'm just rubbing it over so that embossing powder doesn't go where it shouldn't. And you can just see just like a blanket of white. And this can just be rubbed off after all the embossing is finished. So I'm going to stamp this twice to give it a much more whiter impression than the last card. That was stamped once. So I'm hoping if I stamp it a few times, then it'll be a brighter white. Before I press that down, I actually want to use some masking tape to keep the card in place, since it's not completely flat, and to take off the tackiness from the masking tape. I'm just putting it on my trousers, which takes off the tack, and then it won't ruin your card. And I'm not really pressing down on the card, just the surface. Really flick the card, and there is no embossing powder anywhere where I don't want it, because I put the anti-static pouch over. And now I can use the heat gun to emboss the image. And you want to preheat your heat gun so that when you put it onto your piece, it embosses immediately. Right, so now you can see that's all embossed, and it is a little bit whiter than the first card. So I'm gonna just let that dry a little bit, though it doesn't take long to dry, and wipe off the stamp. Now I just use a wet rag, and this is just from old trousers I cut up. Just spritz it with some water, and it comes off nice and easily. Right, so now that this is nice and dry, I'm just going to take a paper towel and just wipe off the baby powder, and it comes off nice and easily as if it was never there. So now I want to add the string and little corner accents with the gel pen. And now I'm just going to mask off the sentiment with a piece of scrap paper so I can add the splats. And I just, for the last card, I just stamped off the image and then cut around it. So I can use this as well, still covering it. And you want to move whatever you were using off your desk, because the splats go everywhere. You can't control where they go. And you have to shake it and pump. And once you start to see paint coming out the nib, then you know it's ready. And I used a tweezer just to hold down everything, and if the tweezer gets some splats on it, I can just wipe that off. And then and there you have it. With that, it adds exactly what it needs, and it looks really nice. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and this has given you some ideas. And I'll be creating a few more of these, and you'll see the photos at the end, because I'm going to a craft fair soon. So, but by the time this video comes out, I would have already been to the craft fair. So I'm using this technique. It's nice and simple to be able to create quite a few of the same thing. So thank you for watching, and please join me again for another arty adventure. Bye!